Hi, Steve and Caleb from Brownells here with another edition of Smythbusters. And today, the myth is going to be...
The myth is that just because you work with or around firearms, you're a firearm expert. And you're free to pretty much give out any advice, and that advice is law.
Well, there's no higher authority that says you can't. I mean, it's not like you got a certificate like a plumber would or something.
You know, that's true. But the thing is, you know, like, for example, your military guys, your police guys, you know, first of all, thank you for your service. We definitely appreciate what you do. But just because you work with firearms, that doesn't make you an expert. Or just because you've built an AR-15, you're not an expert on that platform.
Right. Now, a police armorer works on like the same models over and over and over. He does become an expert on that gun whether he wants to or not.
Absolutely.
Same thing when you were in the military, you were an armorer. You know an M16, an M4 inside out.
Right. And the issue, you know, I would certainly say I was an expert on those weapon systems for sure. And the big issue comes is whenever, you know, people that are experts on those weapon systems are giving advice on other firearms that they don't know anything about. And that's kind of when the issues come into play.
And to be honest, it's not always their fault because
not at all.
The public looks at them as an expert in everything if they know one thing.
Yep. And
they bring their fine double gun to them or their flintlock or their revolver to a guy that's only worked on Glocks. And then hijinks ensue.
Yeah, and it's not exclusive to them. You know, I'm just using them as an example. There are plenty of gunsmiths out there that specialize in, you know, pistol smithing or certain guns like that or older firearms. And the same exact thing happens.
Right.
You know, they'll end up messing with something or giving advice on something or not even, you know, necessarily willingly. Someone will ask them a question and they just kind of make an assumption. They answer the question and it'd be wrong because they're not an expert on that particular area. So the moral of the story here is, you know, if you're seeking advice on a particular firearm or a particular type of firearm, ask an expert that knows about that firearm.
And, you know, I'm guilty of this just like anybody else. I've had guys bring guns to me I knew nothing about. They say, you're the expert, you should be able to handle this. And I think to myself, yeah, maybe he's right, who knows? But it doesn't always work out.
Yeah, and I mean, if, for example, you know, back when I was an armorer, if me now were to go back in time and talk to me then, I probably would think that I don't know anything. Be like, this guy knows absolutely nothing. Because I only knew about those particular things. I couldn't hold a conversation about, you know, the intricate workings of a Smith & Wesson or something like that like I can today.
It just takes time and it takes actual hands-on knowledge.
And the reason we're even doing this or bringing this up is because we get calls on the tech line all the time, emails, chat, they're just pouring in, and it's always somebody that said, you know, oh, well, my buddy was in the Army, he said, or my buddy's a police officer, he says this. And a lot of the time it's just incorrect information that we have to go back and fix, and that's really where this myth is coming from.
Right. You don't ask the guy that just changes your oil if your engine needs an overhaul. He probably doesn't know.
Exactly.
So that myth is sort of busted.
Yeah, it's busted.
All right. Well, if you agree or you disagree, please let us know in the comments below. We're going to read them and we want to hear what you have to say. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time with another edition of Smythbusters.